perspective of them.
So let's talk about.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K Sports. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Miami Heat as they go up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for the Bucks, facing an excellent team on hostile ground, they'll need to play a complete game, start to finish. We'll see if they can pull off the upset. And Kenny, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season, Ernie. You know,
Huge
deals. You know, but typically they come in the offseason because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in midseason. So you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler, the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players would be slow to acclimate. But, Ernie, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Pacers in Indiana.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Yeah, and from the start, Greg, you could tell they were ready to go. Loved how fearless they were, confident, aggressive, attack mode. They don't care where the games are played. They're ready to get it done.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo came to the NBA as an unheralded 19-year-old from Greece, but he's been a quick study at the NBA level. One reason? He actually takes notes. He said, "We all make mistakes and your mind can't remember them all. I write what I did wrong and what worked. I'm going to keep it going. Someday, I'll have a collection." That dedication, Kevin, the sky is the limit for the Greek freak.
Boy, that's fascinating stuff, D.A. Thank you so much. What better way to learn from your mistakes? Clark, tonight in this matchup, young teams, not a lot of experience, and there are tough things for these young players to pick up as they make their journey, I know, through the NBA.
You're really right on top of it there, Kevin, because young players tend to be more emotional, and that doesn't always serve you well. Being poised and calm and confident is what you see from veteran players. Understanding game situations and having the presence of mind to be aware in all situations is part of what sometimes isn't prevalent with young players.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Bucks. John Henson out there with Antetokounmpo. Then there's Bledsoe. Then it's Chris Middleton. And it's Brogdon in at the two-guard spot. There's the double team from Whiteside. Bledsoe outside. It's stolen by Dragic. Here's Johnson. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Johnson's got his first basket.
Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score.
Bledsoe kicks to Antetokounmpo. In the corner, it's Brogdon. Sinks the three-pointer. Brogdon's got his first 3 points of the game.
And the vision of the Greek freak, easily spotting his wide-open teammates thanks to that height of his.
Kept alive, right side, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
Now here's Bledsoe. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Golden State.
And he didn't take any plays off at the defensive end. I mean, he wound up with 4 steals on the night.
And the jam by Whiteside.
And Hassan Whiteside in this deep, forget about it, Kevin. I mean, he's great at getting inside and finishing with force.
On defense, the Heat. It's a 3-point game. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year. But overall, 2 teams that were very similar in the standings.
Yeah, they were able to make the plays to come out on top, but it really could have gone either way. And you could say the same for tonight's game.
And they double up on Antetokounmpo. Brogdon kicks to Middleton. Antetokounmpo passes to Henson.
When he's deep inside like that, he's looking to jam it down. An efficient scorer, John Henson.
It's slammed in by Whiteside.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Yeah, refusing to give up anything easy. Solid defense, and I like that attitude.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
And a chance to check out the stats for Richardson. Really been a key contributor over the past month. He's putting up about 16 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And Whiteside sends it back.
And Whiteside takes great pride in rejecting shots. Outstanding at getting his arms up and denying shooters.
Here's Olynyk following the 3 by Milwaukee. Over Antetokounmpo. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Bucks trail by 6. And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. They set the screen. Henson sets a screen for Brogdon. Olynyk with the steal.
And you've got to do a better job of making sure the defender isn't in your space. I mean, if you're going to pump fake, you've got to make sure he doesn't have a chance for the steal.
And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Heat.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
First one falls for him.
You know, certainly, Kevin, the strength of this Milwaukee team, one of the strengths anyway, is the length they have. I mean, have reach at all positions, but especially up front. They just need some time to develop, but a strong base is there.
And so Olynyk nails both of them. And to help with the development with all the young length the Bucks have, well, they brought in Kevin Garnett to work with the team last season. What a great move. Exactly who you want to be in their head and in that role.
No doubt about it, Kevin. You know KG from your time working with the Timberwolves when he was early in his career. And to have him work with Maker and Parker and Giannis, wow. And Giannis actually admired KG growing up, so even a bigger win-win to have him there. A big part of the conversation was having the right mentality to play and succeed in the NBA, and we know KG had the right mentality for a long time.
Well said, Clark. Well said. Bucks trail by 8. The shot by Brogdon wide open. Off target from three-point range. Goes up on the wing. And Henson pulls it down.
Boy, Kevin, he just clanked that one. I mean, surprising because the defense wasn't really in the picture.
And Whiteside sends it back. Johnson against Bledsoe. Johnson gets the bucket.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
Yep, and that's not a winning performance. I mean, you got to tighten up the defense moving forward if you're going to get some W's.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Bucks.
And clearly, this is a squad that makes its living in the paint. Very few teams are as determined to get the ball inside as much as they are. They aren't going to settle for jump shots. They're going to continue to pound it down low.
Dragic against Bledsoe. Poked loose, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Some of the great passing small forwards in the NBA on your screen right now. These are the assist leaders at that position in the past month. Fifth is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The passes we've seen some of these guys make from the wing, just outstanding, truly gifted distributors.
I tell you what, you could put the isolated cam on these guys and you would notice how flawlessly they execute those entry passes. They create so many easy baskets in the low post because of how on time and on target those feeds are.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
The shot by Bledsoe, nobody around. That three off the mark. Here's Olynyk. Here's Whiteside. It's good for the 7th time this game. He's shot 7. He has made 7.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Yeah, you've got to turn up the dial on the intensity at the defensive end if you're them. I mean, it's still early, but I agree with you.
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And probably the prime memories with the Heat have to be from the Big Three era. I mean, the team has done a great job of transitioning from that era to this current one, but classic example for me of reloading versus rebuilding.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And Greg, credit the Miami Heat front office and coaching staff for continuing to keep this team competitive despite losing several Hall of Fame-type players in the last couple of years.
And that is never an easy task for a franchise to go through. But the Heat have stayed in the competitive picture with smart signings and trades, and don't discount the impact Eric Spoelstra has had on that roster. And you look at the Bucks and this roster, and the one constant at every position, length. I mean, great height and wingspan. Giannis and Maker, just to name a few.
Now here's Middleton. In the loss to the Warriors the other night, definitely not himself. Nailed from three-point land.
Middleton really is an amazing shooter. Absolutely amazing, especially from long distance.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. And when so much of the NBA is trying to capitalize, Greg, on small ball, the Bucks said they're going to go for tall ball if they can make it work.
And what the length and height gives the Bucks is a few things. One, you get matchup advantages, at least at a few positions on the floor. Great coverage in the passing lanes. And remember now, the half court is much bigger because of the impact of the three-point shot. You need size, skill, and activity to be able to guard that far from the basket.
And you watch Antetokounmpo play out there, and he looks like a supersized point guard with how he moves and gallops and initiates the offense. The term is point forward, but the bottom line, Clark, is that Giannis is the orchestrator when he's on the floor.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The assist numbers grow every year for Giannis. He causes a ton of mismatch problems, and how you guard him on the perimeter is always a quandary for the opposing team.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. And the NBA has had coaches who are as legendary as any player. With that in mind, Clark, who is your pick as the greatest coach of all time?
Man, I can't even begin to have an answer for that one. There's some guys that jump out, though, when you think about that list, who would be on it. Greg Popovich for sure. Phil Jackson would have to be included on that list. Fred Auerbach. Chuck Daly for the way he was able to manage his players. Pat Riley. You'd have to consider him as part of being on somebody worthy of that list as well. And I'll even go back a little farther and throw Lenny Wilkins in the mix. I thought he was really good with a number of different teams that he coached.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Mickey. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. And the Heat lead by 8.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
And those putback baskets contributing to their lead, Greg.
Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Ellington, fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? You like their effort level here in the early going. I mean, they're really making things happen for themselves.
And the Bucks making a change here. Makers checked in. And that one falls for Ellington. Bucks trail by 11. Three-pointer, Dellavedova. Rebound by Johnson. Here's Ellington. A second chance effort. He lays it in.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
Timeout called, the Bucks. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Miami. They're in the middle at 5th in the conference, looking to build in the wins as the season goes on. And, of course, Milwaukee, 2 games back.
And right now for Miami, they were a team that no one knew quite what to make of entering the season. But as the year's gone on, it's become clear they're legit contenders.
Abundantly clear. I mean, they can compete with any team in the league, and I think they still have some upside, room for improvement.
Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession. Bucks trail by 13. Dellavedova with the ball. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
And I think all the credit goes to the defense there, Kevin. Exceptional job getting the shooter to rush that layup.
Now here's Johnson. Lets it fly from 18. Here's Adebayo. Good on the short little jump shot. Adebayo's got his second basket of the game.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Milwaukee with the ball. After the Heat pick up 2. Pass to Mickey. Good ball movement here by Miami. Johnson attacking. Another miss by Johnson. Bucks trail by 15. In the corner, Snell with it. 3-pointer. Rebound by the Heat. And here are the Heat. They're on a 15-6 run. Johnson gets the 14-footer to fall. Johnson's got his first points in this one.
Yeah, second chance points, a huge issue right now. They're getting steamrolled inside.
Well, guys, nobody's boxing out. I mean, I could go out there and get an offensive rebound. They're just watching. And if you're the coaching staff, that's unacceptable.
Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Oh, he has just struggled here offensively in the quarter.
Here's Adebayo. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on. I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
Here's Johnson, and then Johnson with the dunk.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And I tell you what, Greg, they've worked hard for this lead. Their play calling has been superb, and the execution even better.
Maker dishes to Antetokounmpo. Bledsoe for 3. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
And after missing 4 straight, he finally gets one to go.
And what an advantage it is for players in the Bucks to be able to pick the brain of Coach Jason Kidd. Kidd is a player who found success in so many formats, under so many schemes, under many coaches, from winning NBA titles as well as international titles when he played the game.
I don't know how much more I can embellish that, but you're right, Kevin. There's a lot to be learned from old number 5. I mean, Kidd has also shown a knack for imparting his knowledge, which is rich and deep, to his guards. And when you've got a young team like the Bucks are, to have a coach with Kidd's experience and IQ, man, what a blessing for those guys.
And Greg, you hear about the competitive culture that this Miami Heat franchise has.
Yeah, and that doesn't always work for some teams, but it works for the Heat. This group will push each other all the time to be the best they can be. The practices have a feel of game-level intensity.
Good on the second free throw. Bucks trail by 17. Here's the lob into Antetokounmpo. And it's blocked. But they recover it. Back to Bledsoe. Over in the corner, Dellavedova. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
Man, I like how Dellavedova gets that shot up so quickly, always measuring the shot.
Oh!
My goodness.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call him ladder climber.
Okay. Here's Snell. Ellington defending. It's tipped.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
Bledsoe kicks to Antetokounmpo, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Antetokounmpo's got 10 points in the game.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Here's Adebayo. Near the three-point line, it's Dragic, and he connects with the jumper. 8 points for him.
Not sure how he gets that pass off. I thought for sure he was going to pull the trigger.
Right side, Antetokounmpo. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Heat lead by 16. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. And forward James Johnson battled his way back into the league after some stints abroad. He talked about his approach to the game.
I play the game how it's supposed to be played. I play offense, I play defense, I rebound, steals, blocks. You know, I'm pretty much that guy who likes to work hard and don't want anybody to beat him out, you know, except the challenge.
That's exactly the kind of hard-nosed, old-school attitude that coaches just love.
And Kevin, and so do his teammates. I mean, a guy like that brings out the best in everybody on that team. They just kind of feed off of his effort and desire.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And quite a position here for the Heat to be in. What do you guys think?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Yeah, nice beginning so far. This is how you play out of the gate.
And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got Matthew Dellavedova. Antetokounmpo is out there with Tony Snell. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's Maker in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Miami's Eric Spoelstra is known for his focus and his devotion to work. How does he stay centered? Yoga. He said, I like it because you have to keep your eyes on your own mat. If you're not focused on the spot in front of you, you'll fall over. And Kevin, that mindfulness translates across the board.
Mindfulness. That's an interesting way to look at things, D.A. Spo is a great communicator. Knows how to certainly get through to his team.
In a tough league like the NBA, here's where Miami sits right now in the league rankings.
And you look at their opponents' points per game. Now, some of that can be influenced by pace of play, but I still like what I'm seeing from them defensively. Getting stops a big part of how they win games.
2 shots.
That's good from Antetokounmpo. And Clark, when you look around the league today, is there a player that you watch and think, hey, yeah, that reminds me of how I used to play?
There are a number of guys that come to mind a little bit. Tobias Harris is an outstanding player, terrific young player and young man. Has a game similar to mine in that he's really versatile, does a lot of things well, not super flashy, but very productive. He comes to mind right off the top of my head currently.
And then Johnson with the dunk.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
Tell you what, you'd hate to be the guy having the responsibility of guarding him.
Here's Mickey. Tries again. And there's the nice layup by Johnson. Johnson's got 13.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And again, the Bucks miss.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and That's the attitude. Stay with it.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly.
Either that, guys, or he wanted the photographers to get a good shot of it.
Well, Heat leading by 22. Here's Johnson. Rebound by Dellavedova.
You must make that one. Even with the defense present, these are shots you have to finish.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. He tries for three, and that's good. Matthew Dellavedova for three. He has 6.
Nice to see Dellavedova square up from deep. Has a nice touch from downtown. So I'll tell you what, his vertical is awesome, off the charts. A short center who still makes his presence felt.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside. They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Different look for Miami. Whiteside's checked in for Adebayo. Kelly Olynyk comes in for Jordan Mickey, and it's Richardson in for James Johnson. And then for Milwaukee, Henson's checked in for Maker, and Middleton subbed in for Tony Snell. Olynyk with the steal. Over onto Antetokounmpo. Here's Whiteside. Gets number 9 to fall. He's only taken 10 shots.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
The Bucks have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Henson.
We are having a lot of success from the line here in the second quarter.
Johnson, the pass to Richardson, and it's Richardson slamming it down.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish. That's what they want. A good look from the mid-range game, hey, but unfortunately they came up empty.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
I agree with you. I mean, they just look comfortable out there, taking what the defense gives them and then capitalizing with no real problem at all.
Passes to Brogdon. Olynyk with the steal. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession. Well, we've got a moment here. Let's now see who the league's top scorers are. Second, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And his contribution to his team offensively cannot be understated. He is always leading the way for them with his ability to put up points.
Brogdon kicks to Antetokounmpo. And the double up Antetokounmpo. Back to Brogdon. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 6 assists in the game. And we watch Giannis out there. He just looked unstoppable, Greg, at times. The way he's able to attack the rim, the blend of size, speed, and length is just unparalleled in the NBA.
And it's the movement that throws you off with Giannis. One step, and he's gone from the 3 line to the rim. There isn't any way to stop someone that skilled who's that big.
Olynyk can't hit.
And, you know, even with him struggling, they're still up. But they need him to find his rhythm soon.
They get a hand on it. In transition, here comes Miami. And the dunk by Olynyk.
Yeah, he can surprise you around the rim. Olynyk has some lift.
Milwaukee has gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Aggressiveness is fine, but you can't be this over-aggressive. I think he's got to dial it back some. They need him on the floor.
Now here is Dellavedova. He's guarded by Johnson. Dellavedova kicks to Brogdon. And he's good on the 3-ball. Brogdon's got 11 points.
He's picking up right where he left off in the first quarter.
Here's Whiteside, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Whiteside. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for Miami.
And you look at the chart, and you see they have done a lot of their damage in the mid-range game. So often teams will try to force everything at the hoop or only rely on the 3 to score, but they have seen what the defense is giving them and taken every open look they found.
Milwaukee's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Antetokounmpo dishes to Middleton. Pulls up. Offensive rebound. Henson. Johnson with the block. They get it back. Dellavedova kicks to Antetokounmpo. Back to Dellavedova. He dishes it to Henson. There's the double team from Whiteside. And taken away by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
And who doesn't love stats? Here are some numbers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. 2nd in scoring, 9th in shooting percentage, and he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint.
And what he's doing right now, carving up defensive schemes at will, 2nd best scorer in the league. It's just a marvelous thing to watch and appreciate. That free throw missing. Well, Clark, you've been in the booth for so long, but I have to ask, have you ever toyed with the idea of coaching or working in some team's front office? I know you did briefly for the Pacers.
Yeah, I did, and I enjoyed it. I was working in player relations, player development with our guys off the court, and loved it. But it just wasn't something I could sustain at this season in my life. Not interested in coaching. I've never really been, because my career path went towards broadcasting right after I got done playing, and I've paid my dues and have grown in this profession. And I would want to do the same thing in coaching, and I just don't have enough time in front of me to do that. So I'm happy to be around the game in this capacity. Coaching never lets up. I get an off season as a broadcaster.
Yes.
No excuses, no explanations. I mean, got to sink that J from mid-range. Defense wasn't even paying attention to him. Come on, man.
The shot by Middleton, wide open. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
And, you know, he's yet to hit another 3 after nailing one in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting. Well, I liked the first quarter he had. I mean, and I'm loving the second quarter even more. Playing with a lot of momentum right now.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
How about the springs of this guy, Antetokounmpo, also known as the Greek Freak? I mean, he just gets up off the ground like a rocket on these alley-oop chances.
Brogdon kicks to Henson. For 3, Middleton. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
Man, it's obvious that Middleton has great confidence. I mean, you can just see it oozing out of him. He's so good at catching the defense off balance and knocking down the catch-and-shoot jump shot.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row. from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me.
Treated the rim like it stole something from it.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down, hard, and simple.
Here's on to Tacumbo, and it's blocked.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, and Olynyk up and down at the free throw line early in his career, but with his touch, he's bound to become more consistent.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game.
When you look at his numbers this season, he's had a respectable number, 77%.
And fellas, I think you have to like his improvements over his free throw numbers from a year ago. It's not a significant number or a huge amount, but it's improvement nonetheless.
The first free throw is good.
And, you take a look at the Bucks in this roster now. A few trades, but they have some really nice homegrown talent. Giannis is a legit superstar they were able to draft late in the lottery, and Parker, another building block that they drafted.
The Heat making a switch here. Dragic is checked in. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And Clark, think about how this Milwaukee team came about. A lot of role players came in through trades, but the young core is all from the draft.
Yeah, how about that, Kevin? Maker and Brogdon, the most recent additions to this team in the draft. Milwaukee rarely makes big free agent signings, and a number of reasons for that, perhaps the market size. And, credit the front office for doing a really good job of making the most of their draft spots to build this team. That takes some real artwork to do that well.
Milwaukee's gone for the three-pointers 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. They double-team Bledsoe. It's tipped. Five to shoot. Milwaukee needs to get off a shot here. And again, the Bucks miss.
This just hasn't been his quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem to be comfortable at all, particularly shooting. I mean, he knows he's struggling right now.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket. And, it's obvious he's a talented scorer. I mean, that's a given. A guy you can depend on to get it done in a lot of ways.
And there's the pass to Brogdon. There's a screen. There's the double team from Whiteside. Brogdon kicks to Bledsoe. Uncovered. And that one comes up a bit short.
Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
No good from Dragic. The Bucks shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his 5th make on 9 shots from the floor.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
No good from Bledsoe. Whiteside, the pass to Olynyk. And the dunk by Olynyk.
Yeah, nice, strong finish on the inside.
But Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality.
An absolutely tremendous athlete, able to go up and finish over the biggest of defenders.
And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Already he's looking at his third foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the third quarter.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Adebayo is checked in for Whiteside. Jordan Mickey comes in for Olynyk. And it's Johnson in for Tyler Johnson. Thon Maker's checked in for the Bucks. Tony Snell comes in for Malcolm Brogdon. Shoots from 12. Richardson, no luck. And the Bucks, they're shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
And it's Milwaukee's ball. They double-team Bledsoe. To the paint. There's the steal. And it's the Heat on the break. Johnson's got the ball. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the foul against Milwaukee. He shot 2 free throws in the game. Made 1 and missed 1.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. So Johnson hits 2 of them. Bucks shooting a meager 37% for the game. Bledsoe dishes to Henson. Henson sets a screen for Bledsoe. To the middle, Snell. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in.
Boy, the long body of John Henson allows him to do a good job setting screens for his teammates.
Johnson's shot is off. Now here's Middleton. He's guarded closely. This is his first free throw of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Middleton.
Middleton is most known, quite honestly, for his scoring ability. He's a sniper from outside that you can't afford to lose contact with.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. And so it's the Miami Heat with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. James, you came out and you were really productive. In fact, the whole bench was productive.
Yeah, of course. You know, that's what the second unit is for. We go hard in practice. We know we can play with the best of them. And we just want to give our first guys, the first group, a lift.
You certainly did, James. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. A tremendous game we're seeing from Hassan Whiteside. He had 20 points, 3 block shots, and 5 assists. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Hassan Whiteside, a much more reliable scorer now. You're not afraid to dump it to him in the post. He's been working on that post game. And on the other end, if you're planning to drive, better know where he is, one of the best rim protectors in the game.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Bucks.
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
As we return to South Florida, a fantastic view of that famous stretch of sand, Miami Beach. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. You look at Hassan Whiteside in this game, guys, he's everywhere.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
And you know what, Greg? He's showing no signs of slowing down now. This game has been all him, and he's been a force.
Now it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Olynyk down low with Whiteside. Johnson is out there with Dragic, and it's Richardson in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Miami.
And, you know, that's good offense there. These are the shots you want to get all the time.
And Miami shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor.
And when I watch Eric Bledsoe, I really feel like he's at his best when he's kind of prodding a defense. So hard to keep away from the rim. When he attacks, it just opens everything else up in his offensive game.
They set the pick. Middleton for three. It's a hand on it. Antetokounmpo on the follow. Antetokounmpo's got 16 points.
Man, actually love the competitive spirit of Antetokounmpo. I mean, never quits on the glass. Always keeps coming. Always looking for that second chance opportunity for his team.
And Greg, as you said, the aggressiveness Bledsoe has going to the rim is a key for him to getting those open shots then on the perimeter.
And the team is at their best when he is in attack mode. Opens up lanes for cuts as you just can't keep him out of the paint. Knows when to drop off a pass after he beats his opponent as well for an easy score.
That's unacceptable shot selection there, Kevin. I mean, why on earth did he think that was a good look? Now, the defense was far from awful. However, he's still got to make these shots, in my opinion.
The Bucks working the ball around. Down it goes. Nice one there from Antetokounmpo.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And Bledsoe has it in the corner. Buries the long-range jumper. Bledsoe's got his second bucket of the game to go.
He might not have the long-range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Milwaukee's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. For 3, Middleton. Rebound by Olynyk.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Johnson's shot is off. For Milwaukee, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. They get it back. And Whiteside sends it back. It's Dragic with the drive. The second chance effort, and Whiteside finishes it off. Whiteside's got 22 points.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Timeout called, the Bucks. Now with Whiteside, no matter what he is doing, he is always setting the tone. The way he goes about defending the rim, it's like he's taking it personally that these guys are not going to score on him.
And you know what? He's a tone setter defensively. He gives his group confidence when he's on the floor. And, you know, teams are starting to realize you simply do not go at Whiteside. The block numbers might be down, but his defensive impact is as high as ever.
And a look here at the shot chart for Bledsoe.
Well, I think a big issue for him right now is his performance from the mid-range. Nothing seems easy for him at the moment, and it's resulted in a lot of missed opportunities for himself and his team when he's taken that shot.
The Bucks shooting around 44% in this third quarter. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Poked away. Here's Dragic. Count it. Dragic has got 12 in the game.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
To the middle. They're running. And Olynyk with the basket on the assist by Whiteside. And that's 23 points for Kelly Olynyk. Antetokounmpo against Olynyk. Bledsoe for three. Antetokounmpo kicks to Henson. That one good for two. He's got 14.
And Henson very aware of his surroundings, knowing the defense can't block his shot when he's this close to the bucket, takes his time and makes it happen.
Bledsoe against Dragic. Bledsoe passes to Middleton. He kicks it to Henson. And they double up Antetokounmpo. 5 to shoot. Bledsoe dishes to Henson. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. 16 points for Henson. Here's Richardson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Middleton left side. Over to the wing. Can he keep it going? Second chance shot. He takes it up and lays it in.
Man, I tell you what, Middleton does a nice job using his length inside. You know, when he gets in a good spot, he's a high percentage shooter from there.
And the shot goes down. Bucks have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. Now, here's Brogdon. He's got 16. Henson throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That one on Olynyk.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going and you just want to keep it going.
They do, and you also see a lot of points have come off the dribble penetration. They've been aggressive on the bounce at attacking the defense.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for Goran Dragic.
The former Tar Heel, John Henson, is incredibly efficient on both ends of the court.
Here's Olynyk, and the dunk by Olynyk.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, he was way up there.
To the left wing. Three-pointer, Dellavedova, good on the triple. Dellavedova's got 9.
The shooting of Dellavedova, I mean, Matthews' jumper continues to be effective, even though it doesn't look that great when he releases it.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Here's Antetokounmpo. 18 points for him. And that one's good, Brogdon.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger. Good job putting the pass in front of him, throwing it where he's supposed to be, not where he is, paving the way right to the bucket.
Here's Henson. He can't get that one to fall. The Heat go the other way with it. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That sets off a 5-game tour for them.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. And that's 20 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here's Whiteside. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. But they get it back. Dellavedova from outside. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. 12 points for him.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far. No luck for him this half after being outstanding from outside the arc in the first half.
Here's Whiteside. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Dellavedova kicks to Antetokounmpo. Down low, Henson lays it up off the glass. Henson's got 21.
You know, even though he's been on, they still are behind. I mean, there's only so much he can do.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
Can't blame him. I mean, the effort hasn't been there, just has not been there. Hopefully, he can get the fire lit.
With some changes, Adebayo is checked in for Whiteside. Jordan Mickey comes in for Kelly Olynyk, and it's Johnson in for Josh Richardson. The Bucks also changing it up. Thon Maker comes in for Antetokounmpo, and Tony Snell subbed in for Malcolm Brogdon. Yep, that one goes in there. Bucks shooting for the game at 42%. Middleton on the wing. Now Henson. 21 points in the game. Out to the wing. Maker passes to Snell. There's the dish to Middleton. Clock at 4. Dellavedova from outside. And it's Miami with the rebound. Johnson kicks to Johnson. Comes up empty down low.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Now the feed to Dellavedova. And the foul on Tyler Johnson. That is his first foul of the game. And here is Dellavedova. 12 points for him. 6 to shoot. Feeds to Middleton. In the corner, it's Maker. And a miss there on the triple. Heat shooting in the third quarter has been brilliant, up around 58%. Here's Johnson. Drops in the layup for 2. Johnson's got 6 in the quarter.
And you can see now they're starting to push the tempo to good effect.
Fast break points, the edge goes to them, and those quick buckets are easy money. I love to see that.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
And then Johnson with the dunk.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And the foul on Tyler Johnson. That'll be his second foul of the game. And so it's Milwaukee now. Henson with it. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game.
Boy, he shows a lot of desire when he's fighting for that tough board. And his length doesn't hurt either.
And it's Johnson penetrating. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
Yeah, and you know, the ball moves faster than anybody's can, so that great ball movement and decision making, they're making all the right moves, Greg.
Here's Middleton. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Man, I like the fact that Middleton, because of his strength, is able to fight through contact and get shots to fall even when he's been hit.
This is his third free throw attempt of the game.
And he's at nearly 90% from the free throw line this season, so having a terrific year.
Guys, I like that this is a part of his game that has really been consistent this year.
One shot.
And that one falls for Middleton.
And one of the things I love about Chris Middleton is his decision-making. You know, he doesn't force shots or passes when he has the ball and just lets the play develop. And that's why coaches trust him so much.
Middleton on the wing. He feeds it to Henson. No one near him. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. Middleton's got 3 assists now in this one. The Heat shooting a tremendous 61% from the floor, hitting at all cylinders. And with Middleton in his decision-making, it's true for both his scoring and his passing.
For the amount he facilitates, he has great efficiency. Low turnovers, solid field goal percentage, and his passing gets better every year.
Well, I tell you, that was double duty right there. He influenced the shot and then got back and cleaned the glass.
Second chance shot, and Johnson finishes off inside. Johnson's got 10 points here in the second half.
Great effort, terrific instincts. That's just solid all-around play, Kevin.
Here's Henson. Here's Maker. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Maker's got his second basket of the game.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table. Is it me, or does it just feel like he gets every rebound that comes up?
Well, he practically has gotten everyone that's available. A 20-plus rebounding game is not something we get to see very often, Greg.
For Miami, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That's good from Johnson. Goran Dragic is checked in for Tyler Johnson. And Milwaukee with a change here, too. Eric Bledsoe's checked in for Chris Middleton. So Johnson hits 2 of them. And the Bucks, they're shooting 47% since getting things started in the third quarter. And taken away by Johnson. Ellington inside the three-point line. Dragic gets the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that. Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
It's stolen by Johnson. 1 second left. And Dragic with the basket on the assist by Johnson. And that's 19 points for Goran Dragic. It's been all about Hassan Whiteside for the Miami Heat. His performance that quarter has earned him a double-double. Seems like he's been everywhere in this game. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's listen in on what Eric Spoelstra had to say to his team.
I like the activity, guys. Active hands, active feet. They do not like it when we take it off the glass.
And obviously the approach Eric Spoelstra wants to see is that aggressive defensive approach and going after the offensive boards.
Yeah, and that persistence really pays off. When these guys are determined, that's when they are at their best.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. On the court for the Bucks, they've got Terry. Wilson out there with Maker. Then there's Brown, and it's Kilpatrick in at the 2. To the inside, Maker. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Well, Thon Maker is a project player, Clark, for his team, taken 10th overall in the 2016 draft. Has great size, and he moves well, but it's going to be a few years before he gets to where he needs to be.
I agree with you, but with big guys, you can afford to be patient when you see that they have a work ethic and a commitment to getting better, are willing to learn and grow, and then you factor in his athleticism and size. I think it's a weight that's going to pay big dividends for the Bucks.
Clark, the current era is so connected to fans through social media. Just how much has that changed the NBA, do you think?
I don't think it's just changed the NBA. It's changed our society and culture at large, and it's here to stay. I just like to see people productively and fruitfully use social media, and I would like to see less of the vitriol and hatred that is afforded for people to hide behind with their negative comments.
Brown dishes to Terry. Johnson over to help. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Kilpatrick. Over Jones. And it's Kilpatrick missing.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Here's Walton. Here's Adebayo. A beautiful reverse layup.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Now here's Terry. And it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. Bucks ball. They set the pick. Down low. Tries again. And he gets it to go. Hitting off the back of the rim. 9 points for Thon Maker.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
Here's Jones. Wilson grabs the board. The Bucks have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Here's Kilpatrick. They get it again. Here's Jones.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
It's stolen by Jones by himself, and Jones slams it in.
Nice there, getting the reverse. Love that. And the fans got a little bit of a show there.
Guys, that one definitely had a little something extra on it.
A jaw-dropper emoji is what I look like right now. Incredible.
Here's Johnson, and it's good. He's made 2 for every one he's missed. 10 of 15 in the contest.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
And, Greg, defensively, you've got to have better floor balance and commitment to hustling back. I mean, you got to sprint back. You can't jog back.
And the slam dunk by Johnson.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside.
Tell you what, you'd hate to be the guy having the responsibility of guarding him.
The wide open look here for Terry. Looking to end the run. That's tipped. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat.
Two shots, gentlemen. Two.
Clark, the idea of player loyalty has been a topic the last few years. From your view, do you think players have an obligation to stick with the team that drafted them if they can?
I'd like to see that happen, Kevin. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, and personally, I think it's cool to see guys hang with the team that drafted them as long as they can move forward towards their aspirations and goals individually and as a team. I also never begrudge players that after a time decide they'd like to explore a different opportunity with a different team for whatever the reasons might be that drive that. But traditionally and personally, I like to see players be one-team players if all of the circumstances that lend itself to that being productive are in place.
Hammonds, he's checked in for Miami. And Milwaukee with a change here, too. Juan's checked in. Good on both.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
There's the call on James Johnson. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Heat making a change here. Richardson's checked in. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Here's Vaughn. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Here's Miami now. They're on a 16-6 run. Here's Hammonds. Here's Jones. And the layup's good off the glass. Jones has got 6 in the quarter.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Brown wide open. He fired. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Jones drives in. It's good.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Bucks shooting in the fourth quarter down around 31%, not playing with as much energy here lately. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. And for the Heat, they're shooting a superb 63% from the field. And they pick up 2.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
Maker, no one around him, and he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Maker's got 11 points here in just the second half. And the basket by Walton.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly a step up from the first half. They're more engaged, more focused here in this second half, and they're getting good results.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Richardson, and he banks in the layup.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
The Bucks shooting 41% for the game. Pass to Vaughn. Back to Terry. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Here's the screen. And the shot no good, a bit short. Here's Richardson. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Richardson's got 4 this quarter.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Terry outside. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Terry's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Bucks.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters. Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Shot's good by Wilson. So it's Miami now. Here's Hammonds. Bucket is good.
The heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
And for Milwaukee, they're shooting at 42% in this final quarter. Terry, the pass to Maker. Wants to get it to Brown and does.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Oh, that's how you drive your point home right there.
He's lucky to get away with that, though, guys. I mean, it could have earned him a technical for hanging on too long.
Kicks to Terry. To the inside. Wilson the pass to Maker. Dishes it to Terry. And Jones over to help. Terry kicks to Maker. Brown outside. Pass to Terry. He dishes it to Maker. Here's the three. In for his 7th make in 13 tries.
They've cashed in on a lot of second chance opportunities here in the second half. That extra effort will help them cut into this deficit.
Hammond's shot is off.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
And he jams it with authority.
Boy, good job firing the pass inside there. I mean, all his teammate had to do was catch and finish.
The Bucks shooting about 42% so far. Terry kicks to Maker. Shoots a three. That one doesn't go. And Miami the other way now. Here's Hammonds. And there's the big-time jam, and he slams it right over Maker.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Ugh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there.
Boy, I'd love to get a replay on that one. Let's keep it handy so we can see it again.
Vaughn kicks to Maker. Here's Mickey. Rebounded by the Bucks. Wilson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Here's Vaughn. Richardson covering. Terry dishes to Maker to the wing right side. Vaughn kicks to Terry. 5 on the clock. Poked loose over Walton. Shot by Terry, no good. The Heat shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense. And the shot goes in. Hammond's got 12 points here in the second half.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
There's a good screen. Wilson the pass to Brown. Terry outside. Launches a three. Knocks down the 3 ball. Terry's got 9 points in the quarter.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
And knocking down a bunch of them, too. Outstanding shooting in this 4th quarter.
The pass to Wilson. He kicks to Terry. There's the dish to Maker. And the dunk by Maker.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
And they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end.
Yet another bucket in close. That's how he's earning his points today.
So it's the Bucks now. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. More and more we see coaches resting players to keep them from getting overworked. The benefits, Clark, are clear for the players, but is it something that is getting overused?
I don't know if overused is the right word, Kevin. I don't like to see it as much because I think there are other ways you can rest players. Games can be part of your strategy, but how about practices being more a part of how you rest players? It got an awful lot of attention this past season, and for good reason. And I would think the coaches and players will adjust because it's not a good optics for your viewing public and your paying patrons to just arbitrarily do it. I understand it, but I think there's a balancing act that could be performed that would make it not appear as disruptive to the fans as it was this past season.
Adebayo is checked in for Miami. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Milwaukee. Both shots good from the stripe. Miami with the ball. Here's Adebayo. Good. And it's Walton who picks up the assist. Walton's got 6 assists in the game.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the game comes so naturally to him, easily. I mean, helping to expand their lead as they try to close this one out. He's doing it.
Here's Adebayo.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time.
Yeah, I like the variety, though. Nice to switch it up.
To the paint, Maker, and the dunk by Maker.
Man, it's so good to see how Dellavedova plays to his strengths, guys. I mean, specifically how he finds the open man. Nice.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Heat.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And you always like to jump on your opponent early in a season series. This is just the first of 3 between these two teams, but a good win to go up 1-0 on the year against the Bucks.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Hassan Whiteside.
Well, I love the force that he showed on defense, using all of his length to deny shots. He was their anchor tonight.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
They set the pick. Dellavedova kicks to Brown. Poked away. Shot from the top of the key. And it's Dellavedova missing. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Jones drives in. No good on that one. Some solid defense from Brown. Out to the wing. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
Timeout called, the Heat. What do you think, guys?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
Well, they're really just being conservative, making sure they don't make any last-minute mistakes, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. No idea.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. It must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. This kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. The first one falls. And Brown drops them both. Now Walton. Here's Mickey, and he jams it with authority.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Big time. I mean, it's amazing. Their crowd letting them hear it. And that's always inspiring. They want to see this thing get wrapped up.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Warren, a pretty good performance you put on tonight in front of the fans.
Yeah, great win for us, for our fans. They were amazing. This kind of games is really enjoying to play. We are hustling on every play, defense and offense, and I'm really happy that we won that game.
Yeah, I know that's what you thought it would be like when you got here, and it was like that tonight. Congratulations. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.